world of YouTube. Another Archie lyrics, poems, horror stories. Due to me being sick for the past week, I haven't been able to get the chance. Been doing some research though, and I've come up with some crazy stuff. All child killers, and of course, go figure, today I'm ready to put up something. This thing happens in Connecticut with all the shooting of young kids. I give my thoughts and prayers to the people that lost their kids. I got 4 kids of my own. Something like this is hugely devastating. Thinking of it all day. It's watching the footage of it, very disturbing. And of course, you know, child killers have been going on since the turn of the century. And I've got stuff that's been of killing children at least back into the 1800s, and it's probably gone on since, of course, the dawn of time. But I mean, I picked 3 men and I think a couple of women that really caught my eye on killing children. I mean, some had dark pasts, you know, being raped, beaten, all kinds of horror stories when they were kids. You know, it leads to wonder why they did all this. But then again, 2 wrongs don't make a right, as they say. And they went off and did wrong, of course, because they had wrong done to them. I know I'm stating before they say anything on this killing in Connecticut that something had to have been drawn up and, you know, sickly demented in this family, because they, you know, I heard a person before say it's the silent people that you need to watch out for, the people that seclude themselves from the world. And from one of the interviews I heard today on this kid, Adam, you know, the girl that went to school with him said that he was quiet, shy. Right. That's a perfect killing machine. You know, if you think about it, people like Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, he had very little friends, they say and claim. I mean, I read, there's seen 2 articles that I read. One said that he was a class clown, but another said that he was more or less alone. And I'm going with one of the more or less alone, because he did things, of course, in class, in school, and was, of course, abnormal. And come to find out, his past, his mother used to wash him because he was a bedwetter in the beginning of his teenage years. And if you read about it or watch the movie of it, you'll see why. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of things that happen in between mothers, sons, father, son, parents, everything, step-parents. Just like my Missing for 31 Years documentary I did here on YouTube. The stepfather was jealous of his son, stepson, excuse me, and, you know, led his murder. You know, I have no doubt in my mind, after doing everything I did and researching, to claim Clarence Dean a murderer. And it's stuff like this that occurs in Connecticut, or any school shooting that has happened in the past. You know, where's society going today? I mean, it's getting worse, and I'm sure in hell ain't been any better. I mean, it's been here since the dawn of time. How do you make it better? No one will know. It's sick to think, but there it lies. And like I said, I wanted to go over, I mean, there's many child killers out there, but I only had to pick a handful because of the fact I'd be here all night. I don't want to do too many parts of this because I'm already giving them enough publicity that they already don't need. Some of them are gratefully dead where they belong. In my case, I would have tortured them and did things that they did to kids before they died, but that's just me. You know, I hate people that prey on kids. They're weak, harmless, know nothing, fragile, eggshell mind. That's it. That's all you can say. Why do things to kids? I mean, to an adult, it's something different. It's not right. To a kid, it just drives me mental to even think of that. And it's made me who I am today of my thoughts, my theories, and the things that I've endured in my life. You know, it's sick, demented, disgusting. I wish it would stop, but I don't, hey, I don't think it ever will. It's just gonna go on and on and on like a broken record and skip. Can't get it away. Can't get rid of it. But once again, my best of wishes to all of Connecticut who lost their kids' lives today. Like I said, I have 4, and my schools around in my area do not, they just this year got doors that lock and you have to push buttons to get in there. They're just now securing the building, but in my eyes, I think all schools, even in past movies from the 80s, you'd see schools with metal detectors and police. I think it's about time to start putting that in schools, and getting rid of this, total bullshit that people think they can get away with it, just going in and firing up the schools. No words I can say can explain my feelings towards this, of course, of any other parent. There's no words. You can't think of anything to say of nothing. It's just speechless. That's all you can do is be speechless of something of this, and it's getting old. Old news, and it's getting ridiculous. And I think schools should prepare themselves more and get their, security systems and, hey, if there was one thing I could say though is right, I have this thing on here about robots, is that robots be programmed to protect school doors, just if someone comes bashing through a door with a gun, robot immediately stops it. Robot will not get shot down, will not be stopped. That's the only thing I can see a robot being good for. Other than that, making things faster than a human. But we don't want to lose our jobs, so I don't want to get back into that. But I mean, that's all I can say though, is something like that, security-wise, safe in the schools. Make something. It's getting old. Old news. News that we don't want to be reminded of. But let's go over some child killers I looked up in the past week and were being sick. I wasn't able to do no talking either because I was dizzy as all hell. But we're gonna start off with these names. I can tell you right now, pronouncing them is gonna be goofy because they're weird. And I'll tell you something, they're just as strange and as weird as the people they are, and they fit them well. But this man, Carl Penzram, was a child thief, child molester. child rapist and child killer. Loved to brutally beat children and young men. Now, they say he, as child, was brutally beat, raped, and of course he grew up doing the same thing, but they also put him out and labeled him as the man who hated all mankind. They called him a misanthrope, and misanthrope. It's a word that we do not use anymore, but it's a hater of all mankind. They wanted to put his picture next to the word, literally, in a dictionary. But later on, he got caught and hung. But he did before. He took a lot of kids' lives, a lot of them. And, I use this stuff because it's similar to my story, what I've done, but one man did one crime and these people did many crimes, but it's all got to do with the same thing. An adult hating children for some apparent reason. And it just, it's crazy what you read. All these things I've been doing and looking up, making my stomach turn. It's disgusting. And just to think what these kids went through. It's just, at least Connecticut had a quick, painless, encounter, but these kids endured, psychopathic things done to them and then killed. To think what went through their mind. Now we got John Wayne Gacy. They called him the clown killer. He had a bad thing with his father. He didn't get along with his father at all. His father was a drunk and beat him. Now why he did what he did is beyond me. Because in the beginning of the story, they say he was a man you wouldn't even think of. Nice, polite, had a wife. But between 1972 and 79, this man raised 33 kids, brutally did things, kept their corpse, and buried him under his house. And a lot of it he did it by dressing up as a clown. Now this next person is almost into what my story is of the missing for 31 years. We have Alan Etheridge, and from 1913 it was common for housekeepers to move in with couples with kids to clean their house. And this man had 8 kids. And when this housekeeper moved in, it was the 9th kid that was being born on the way. Somehow the wife got sick, the baby was born, but the wife ended up dead. And it was common also to a housekeeper, if a wife dies, they married the guy, the household, and becomes the next wife. This guy literally lost it. He was crying and he couldn't handle without his wife being there. But ended up getting a little bit better, getting married again with this woman and the kids. He took a lot of interest and time in them now because, they were motherless. So he was always playing, fooling around, making jokes. And this woman here, Ellen, thought that she was getting a rich man, which he did work. He worked hard and he got lots of money. But didn't come through for her to start taking her out like she wanted and getting spent money on. She thought she ended up with a rich man and ended up with a big kid, as you might say, and he kept playing with his kids and ignoring her. So here's the stepmother, like my story, of course, jealous, obsessed with this man and his money, and ends up poisoning the kids, 3 or 4 of them. One survived, and the youngest one survived, but all the rest, there was like 3 or 4 that died. And they got suspicious because they kept, the way they were dying. They ended up finding out that she was putting laundry detergent, which back then was called dye or something, and poisoned them with it. Killed them instantly. And when she got, confessed and blah, 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 of course she went to jail or got executed her own self. There you go. She was jealous of this stepmother. Where was her time? Where was her money? The guy was supposed to bring her to town one day so she could spend money, and there you go. She was pissed off and kills his kids. And this was back in, like I said, 1913. The Carl guy, he was back in the 20s and 30s. Then we got Dean Coral, and he also in the 70s was called the Candy Man. His mother ended up eventually becoming a candy maker out of her garage. I don't think he had a bad upbringing either, but he also did brutal sex acts and killed kids, and he had 2 accomplices to draw in the kids, young teenagers, of course. There you go, just a candy man. The number one thing to draw in a kid, number 1, candy. He made it. There you go. He was just against kids for what? For what reason? Still beyond reasonable doubt of what he did and why he did it. And of course, it's just disgusting. We got Amelia Dyer, and she was an older woman, and they called her the baby farmer. And this woman is beyond reasonable adult, a friggin' freak. And she ran a boarding house for infants that mothers could not take care of, feed, or shelter them anymore. Back in them days, it was common for a woman to give up their kids, because back then making money, a friggin' penny is all you get, or like 9 cents a day or something stupid. And when you can't work or you ain't got that kind of money laying around, you're losing out on a lot. And this woman made women pay a fee to drop their kids off. And then as soon as all the paperwork and everything was done, signed over, bam, immediately afterwards, the mothers would leave. They think their babies are sick now. They go back to their normal lives, trying to get their life together or whatnot. This woman would suffocate the infants and have their beds up and ready for the next one to come in immediately. Sick. Go figure. And this happened in the 1800s. And another one in the 19th century. A woman they called the vampire. She also took kids, killed them. And this woman called the vampire. They used to cut the body parts of the kids, mix them up so they're into a liquid or either in blood, and make it as a potion, and sold it to sick people to say the potion would help them get better. And she too brutally, kill kids and, take them out. And I think they said that she was even prostituting kids. She must have been the girls or whatnot. And when she was done with them, kill them. Get rid of them. I mean, from the day this earth started, for what reasons beyond me, you have people just wanting to kill a kid. Jealousy or hatred, and just plain flat out disgusted of them, don't want to look at them, whatever the means is. I don't understand why people are so dumb like this, retarded. And remember, one of my videos, I redefinitioned the word of retard being someone that knows of right and wrong but does wrong anyways. So these retards, I call them, sitting there destroying kids, and they're living brutal lives and they're deaf. I mean, they're encountering stuff before they die, and they see this, scream it, feel it, and what the fuck goes on in these people's heads? And just like today, you're come to do this stuff, and this shooting happens, and like I say, there could be something in the family timeline that has happened that has picked somebody off, that a quiet person coming out and lashing out to the world. Could be his mother, it could be the world, it could be the school, it could be whatever the main topic is. I'm putting it down right now that something went wrong, something went bad, and this retard wanted to do it his way, right? Just like all these other people did it their way. Didn't go seek help, didn't go get treatment, or whatever could they do back then. I don't know. There wasn't much to offer, though, you can honestly say that, but still, all this stuff is overlooked, too. And we wouldn't be here today in the things we know in the law and the books if stuff like this didn't happen. We wouldn't have bettered ourselves if we didn't put our foot down. But as you can see, a lot of people got away with bloody murder, and we still get away with bloody murder today. They're also saying for this shooting, oh, we should do more gun control. Well, let me tell you something. Gun control ain't gonna solve no problems. You can put a law on a gun all day and make it banned for life. But as you can see, as I wrote and written down all the stuff that these people have done, there was no usage of guns. It was either done by a knife, strangulation, suffocation. Everything a weak child can't fight back on was done back then, and sometimes still done to this day. And people want to blame guns. Give me a break. You hear it all the time, you're going to hear it again. Guns don't kill people. People use the guns and kill you. That's it. Retards. Know better, but do wrong anyways. Like I said, all these criminals did it with candy, being a clown, running a business. There was no guns involved. And I can't see why gun rights are going to be making this episode, in Connecticut, all rambling on about, oh, you better put a stiffer, you know what? What needs to be done now is people that want to buy guns, in my book, just like the people that want to have kids, need to be evaluated, checked out, mentally. Alright? I mean, I've always wanted a gun when I was a kid, but guess what? Due to my past and my defenses on things, I'm not allowed to have guns now because I got a criminal record and I did things in self-defense that ruined my record to having anything. But in a way, I don't care because I don't need no stupid weapon to do what I had to do. It's just getting crazy on what things are being overlooked. People should be evaluated for having kids, and now people should be evaluated to have guns. Times have changed. The younger generation, they're smart, but they're not too smart. Here we are in a time of people are thinking, oh, we can have just, sex relationships and not have a relationship, and that's how kids get screwed up in the end, because they have no mother, or they have a mother, they have no father, they have a father, they have no mother, they're splitting up, they get their knocked up, they get their thrills, then they move on. You wonder why society's all fucked up, because people have no morals in life no more. It's all about being, oh, I got my kid, now you move on, and I move on, and the kid's stuck in the middle, he's young, fragile eggshell mind, there we go again, don't know what to do, don't get taught the right things, don't get taught the right way, don't get guided in life of right from wrong. So whatever opportunity they're open up to, with the door they're put in front of, they take it. And that's exactly what probably happened today. Kid had an opportunity, the parents are split up, kid has no parental guidance, who does what he wants to do. That's what kids are getting away with these days, getting what they want to do. And when they're left with what they want to do, they end up out on the streets, and these killers pick them up. These killers come along, and your kid's dead. Slit throat, knife. Doesn't need to be a gun. It could be anything or anything. Bashed in the head with a rock. You hear it all the time. See it all the time. I've been watching a lot of these criminal shows that are coming out now that they're allowing to have. Speaking about all this stuff about killings, and, when you see it, what they did. Some, use guns, others don't. What's wrong is the kids of today are getting to do what they want, pick and choose what they want, and then they go off and do it. And if they're not street smart or not taught the right way, they get picked up by a killer and they're dead. That's it. That's how the world works. Now, I was fortunate enough in my childhood to be, somehow and some reasons I don't know, but ended up with street smarts, grew up way too fast. I've been roaming the streets since the age of 5. No, I can't even say 5. Since the age of 2. My first wandering out of my yard at the age of 2, I ended up at some old lady's house my mother knew, drinking milk and cookies. I could have been lost. I could have been kidnapped, killed. Could have been shot by one of these dumb idiots running around with a gun. But I knew where I was going. I knew where the streets were, and when I was found, it was like, I'm still amazed to myself to this day to even think of, I went over there, and thinking, how the hell I would even remember that, being 2 years old. It's freaky, weird. But I'm a lucky one. I'm a fortunate one. And these other kids ain't. The ones that get picked up every day, murdered, or sitting in school, get shot up. They don't know what to do. It's not taught. It's not thrown in their face out there. I tell my kids all day about the man and what the man can do to you. So they're always looking over their shoulder. And wondering, oh, is the man gonna get me? I teach my kids about reality. I don't teach them about fake stuff. I teach them that stuff like this can happen. Someone can come up and shoot you. Someone can come up and shoot me. I tell them every day, you go outside, you be careful. If you see someone wanting to harm you, you run. You stay in the public eye, and you stay in the public place, and you run. You stay where there's a lot of people. You know, there's not a day that crosses my mind that I don't think of my kids getting picked up. They ain't got the street smart. But they have me, and I teach them. I teach them reality. I teach them that the cops could shoot them if they play with fake guns. You know, I teach them all kinds of things. I don't care. I don't fake my responsibility as a parent. I tell them reality. And when I show them things like this on the news, you gotta do it. It's reality. It needs to be seen, taught, heard, seen, and put in front of their face, and that's that. It's my thoughts and theories. And my kids every day think of, oh, well, what if this and what if that? And they're always asking me questions. And you know, it's like, you gotta be prepared. You gotta be always alert. You can't let your guard down. Not even in today's society. I mean, not even back then. But back then, you know, people didn't really want to even believe this stuff was happening. They just wanted it to go away. But now, yeah, you got all these Amber Alerts and everything coming out. Bang, it's all serious now. Back then, kid ran away. There was a lot of runaways back in the 70s, 60s. Right, and they didn't know it was just another runaway. But it wasn't. Some of them wasn't. Some of them were literally murders, and after all these accounts of what these killers did, some of them got up to 300 plus victims, 50 to 100. And, you know, just to think, all the kids you see on the walls from the 70s, where they really could be. These people really literally chopped up their bones and everything else. Sent them off in potions and ate them, or did what they did and buried them. You know, some of them got caught, some of them got found. But still, to this day, who and what do we live around? Other than that, I mean, you don't know what is becoming of anything anymore. You gotta be alert. You gotta have eyes in the back of your head. It's time to move forward. And you don't need I can't say you don't need a gun these days. But I mean, stuff like this still happening. With people coming up with semi-automatic guns. Where the hell did you get that? I looked for that stuff on the street before when I was younger. I can't find that shit. How this kid find that shit? You know, like I say, parents or anybody in the family that's going to get a gun or should be evaluated. Anybody that has a kid needs to be evaluated. Mental illness should be detected before anybody's handed a gun. That's my book. And mental illness is anybody that wants to go and try and have kids or be friends with kids. It's just something needs to be done, thought of. We're just going to end up keep on having all these episodes. More terrible sight of history. That's why my website's called Terrible Sight. So I bring up the terrible sights of life. I bring up reality to people. And that's what I'm going to be getting to do. That's what I wanted to do, even in my poems and lyrics, in my short horror stories. I give you a light of what could happen to someone. I give you the light of what a song means and what's out there, reality. I don't like to fake nothing. You can say I don't want to be into fiction. I like non-fiction, reality. Because sometimes being in the fantasy world gets you caught up into something else, and then you're screwed. My fantasy world is good things. what I want to be, what I want to write, what I want to show, and what I want to be to my kids. You know? Other than that, if you get too lost in fantasy, you're going to find yourself in something you can't control. Where you going? Where you going? What you done? Where you going? If you get into drugs and the usage of alcohol and all that kind of stuff, it's going to make it worse. I know because I've been there, done that. Other than that, going over what I wanted in today's horror story. I mean, it all happened on the day that I wanted to bring these up, and this happens. It's like, well, okay, that's kind of not right, but hey, I gotta get it out. It's gotta be heard. It's gotta be known. And I think people should start realizing what people should do, evaluating stuff, especially when you go buy a gun, especially when you want to think about having kids. Because you don't know what's going to happen out in this world, and you don't know what's going to take your life. Me, I live life like there's no tomorrow. I don't look into the future. I want to look into the future of making some money sometime down the road, so I'm not broke all the time. But who don't? But I also want to give my thoughts and theories too. The crazy stuff that I've endured in my life, and sharing with you, and giving my thoughts and theories and stuff like this. And it's just kids. Why the kids? It's always gonna be the kids. Something about a kid every day. I mean, even the newspaper articles, I gotta go over in another segment. Child molestation. Sick. More stuff happens every day, every week. Get a newspaper every day. Always something new. Always something insane that happens. And today proves it. It just keeps happening. No one's putting something down. There needs to be more security, I think. Like I say, and there should be more people getting evaluated to buy things also, like guns. Guns don't kill, people kill. But other than that, I think I got what I wanted to say tonight. I'm going to give a big salute to the people of Connecticut. I know nothing will give back to children. It's going to be the most devastating thing in your life that has ever happened. I'm with you there. I can feel it. I have a photographic memory. I can see it. I can see your pain that's going to endure in your life. I have 4 kids of my own, and I couldn't imagine something like this happening. Our schools still have no security. Anybody can go up in this school, my schools also, and do anything they want. And every day now, you gotta just keep thinking, is it gonna happen? Other than that, I mean, whether it be back in the 1800s up to now, in the beginning of time, there's always someone out there that's gonna mess with a kid. My thing is getting old. And man, it's just, no words. No words. It's like the parents tonight, no words gonna explain nothing. They might get their interviews. You might as well just say it right now. No words. I can say it for them right now. No words are gonna explain nothing. Other than that, you too. See you on the next video. Big salute to all. May the sorrow of people tonight try and be moved on to better things. See you on the next one. Out.